Now we then agreed, and all the parties came and signed. The ANC and the DA signed the agreement. The Patriotic Alliance and the IFP signed the agreement immediately. And all other parties started following. Rise Mzansi is the latest today, yesterday. It signed the agreement with their 2 seats. Banama seat in there too. So they've also signed. So we've got all those parties that have therefore signed. Freedom Front has signed, many parties except for the MK party. The freedom fighters are still trying to say, what are you offering us before we sign? They are not saying, what are we contributing to the country before we sign. Bafungwazi ukuthi sibanika siphi isitulo, sibanika muphi umnyango before bangasayini. Now, it's up to them whether they join this government or they don't join this government. And this government elected the president last week. President Cyril Ramaphosa was then elected to be the president. So the president will be announcing the cabinet soon. Kuthi na iminyango na abongqongqoshe benu abazothatha ikhantri bayise phambili. So kule cabinet nizobona ezabe ihlangene. Akusilebe senijwayele abantu be-ANC kuphela. Kuzabe kunomuntu we-IFP, kuzabe kunomuntu we-DA, kuzabe kunomuntu we-Patriotic Alliance, mhlambe nabazayithola i-deputy minister noma i-minister asasi. But all these parties will be in cabinet together. Nabo good with 1 seat. Because the idea is to bring everybody and build a country and address the problems that are affecting our people, not how we're going to establish government. Let me summarize to the last stage. The last stage then, Comrade Ruby says, after cabinet is pronounced, the national negotiating team, and we must be proud of ourselves as people in Soweto, that one of our own, Comrade Parkstow, has been very central in these negotiations. A child from here, he's been part of those negotiations to bring about a government in this country. So we may be proud. Now, they are going to finalize, they've already started last week to finalize provincial arrangements. That is why in Bonile between Gauteng and KZN, especially KZN province, we have finalized the government arrangements. In Bonile uno premier uya IFP. Uspeaker ubuya ku-ANC bashera ke ama-MEC, i-ANC ithole 3, i-IFP ithole, i-DA ithole 3, i-IFP yathatha ke i-4 plus the premium. So sesisherile siqedile KZN. Kunombuso manje, there's a government. Sesele ngeGauteng. Kunzima mawunga stopa le camera ngizongitshela manje ngayistop ngithe. Masibuya eThekwini kumele ibize iCouncil ikhethe iMayor ngoba sokunesivumelwano between ANC neDA neIFP eThekwini. Nathi ke masibuya ngeyi4 lezo ivumelwano izabe sezisayiniwe siyolungisa imikhandlo yethu. But the ANC kumele sizifundise maqabane ukuthi sisheshe ukuphendula and respond to the problems of the people timeously. Inkinga esinayo sithatha isikhathi ukuthi sivale le pipe le eliqhumela elinesuwa. Sithatha isikhathi ukuthi si-resolve ukuthi abantu siyabasusa la kule mkhukhu siyobabekela ufereni noba siyobabeka phi sibanike izinto. Sithatha isikhathi to respond. Abantu bethu basiphelela inhliziyo ngoba abayanga ukuyovotela omunye umuntu. Basidlalela ekhaya. Because baphele inhliziyo ukuthi siyawuthanda lo mbutho kodwa ke awurespond ngesikhathi. Yilo boyfriend engathi ugcina na uphela amandla abezuzi akafoni lo muntu akekho serious. So we need to start to change in which we function. And the first thing is to respond on time. 2, we can't wait for the branch general meeting that will come because there's a conference. The branches of the ANC must meet its members every week. Every week. Because before 1994, our structures were meeting on a weekly basis to update people with Wenzagalad. We take too long. So I think we must start thinking that at least every Thursday, Comrade Church, there must be a branch meeting. Even if it's just for an hour, chairman has chair and no bala, but to Wenzagalad, nani nistel, utekhaleni Wenzagalad, so that we don't lose that connection with our people. The councillor, every month we must call a public meeting so that we close the gap. And we must respond timeously. The branch must know how many people in this world sleep without food. And we must go and find the solution in social development. So we need activists. Skatele nje utsibela ama branch wama conference. Bakusefika inkomfa sonke siyabizwa siya-attenda sithengelwa nezinto ezimnandi ukuthi siyokhetha abathize nabathi siyeza vele next year siya ku-congress sizabe sibhizi nani ngoba sifuna ukhetho. But it can't be the ANC that behaves in that fashion. And one of the biggest problems we have in the country, Comrade Rubia was checking the price of cabbage. Cabbage is 25 rand. The cost of food is becoming too high. And we cannot allow this as a government. You know, I was in Brazil the whole week. Umaspalum to me, ukuthi yon representer kwamanye ama platform. Bengidla kwenye indawo abafowethu bengihambe nabo. We couldn't believe that a full meal, I was spending just around 21 rands for a full meal in another country where the rand is weaker, their currency is stronger. And we decided for the whole week, lunch and dinner, bese siyalapha ukuthi sisave le mali esiphethe bese siziyela lapha ngidle i-rice, chicken, vegetables, you know, bengidla kusuthe. Now we must address this issue of food prices, and the branches of the ANC must start making noise about the prices of food. It's too high, and it's all leader in a situation where people are hungry. And when the people are hungry and they starve, it's a recipe for a rebellion. And they'll rebel against the government of the ANC. So let's go out and fight food prices. There's no need for food to be expensive in South Africa. We only have 3 months of winter. In Europe, they've got 6 months of winter, but their prices are still relatively lower than our prices in South Africa.
White people are running away.
Eggs, amakanda. A tray of eggs is just over 70 or 100 rand now. We can't allow these things because white people who are controlling the food in this country are deciding the price. Nathi siyasabu kuyofama angazi sisaba. Yes. Si right sihlezi la esilungwini. Sifuna ukuthenga kanti it's time now we must go and produce our own food. Because if we don't produce our own food, we are going to starve because the prices are going to skyrocket. So ngiyabonga maqabane ngethuba elinginike lona. I think I've tried to give the first phase, which was the 29th of May, where we did not perform well. Second phase, the negotiations arrangements. The third phase, the election of a government of national unity. The fourth phase, arrangement of provincial governments. The last phase, which is local government, municipalities, which are also going to change and be rearranged so that the ANC can lead those municipalities. As we go to 2026 elections, it means we must do more work to bring out the people to come out and vote for the ANC. With that being said, thank you very much.
Let us thank Comrade Mayor Morero. Thank you very much. Now, comrades, Comrade Dada is running to the airport, but Nimdele some few more minutes. Now, I want to welcome, I see we're joined by comrades from Zone 10. I see Comrade Vincent at the back, Comrade Lele, all comrades that have joined us from outside.